probably.
It may.
It won't happen during this election cycle.
Yeah, and typically that a lot of that is dealing with on the federal level, dealing with the federal seats, but that has a big part of it on the way that they district all of the different precincts in the counties, in each county. So like VC starts. Like if you want to go with VC's in both Tarrant County and Dallas County, and he's got it's like a dumbbell shape. Because they want to capture that population.
And the reason why that was done was because they wanted to put they wanted to make it into, if I'm not mistaken, they wanted to make it into a Latino district, Hispanic district.
And there's a lot of Latinos that live in the district as well. VC represents a lot of them.
And then have it a Democratic district as well.
Yeah. And that's how they're doing it. They try to keep it equal between Democrats and Republicans based off of the voter records. And so that's a big part of how the whole thing works. So it's all kind of, and then who's ever in power is the one that decides how to draw those up. But in essence, that's what the courts have gone in and they say, well, no, you can't disenfranchise your Democrats over here, or you know what I mean? So you got to try to kind of keep them together so that they have their voice matters. You know what I'm saying? So that's a big part. But this district has been.
Well, you had mentioned before about getting your life together.
Yeah.
Was there something that particularly happened to?
Well, me in school for a long time didn't do very well.
You in school?
Me in school didn't get along too well. So I kind of, I went to the School of Hard Knocks, and I injured myself. I joined the reserves when I was 18, and I'd gotten hurt. And I had surgery while I was in the service, and then I got out. I did my reserve time, which was 8 years. But I had that kind of affected me because it took a long time to really get over. To this day, I still have knee problems, and it hurts. As a young man, I guess I didn't handle it as well, so I kind of floundered around. I just couldn't get stable. Now, I'm not saying I ever got I never got in trouble.
Well, I'm glad you cleared that up, because you saying this like.
Oh, no.
Now, because people can twist that.
No, yeah, I guess so. No, I never got in any trouble.
Yeah,
but then again, I wasn't no saint either, Ed. I struggled.
And see, if I was a bad dude, I would be. I got him, man. He didn't have a problem and everything. No. But no. This is about you wanting to run. What does your wife think about you wanting to run?
Oh, she hates politics. My wife's Filipino, and she's an immigrant that came here and was working, and then we met, got married, and so forth. But politics in the Philippines
it's different.
It's different. And it's real dirty too, And so her view of politics.
Now, how long has she been here?
We've been married. It'll be 14 years in April, and she'd been here like 3 or 4 years before that.
Mm-hmm.
So she's been here almost 18 years in the States. Of course, after we got married, we had to do the change of status and all that. So she's an American citizen.
So what do you think about the immigration policy we have in the United States?
Well, it's pretty messed up.
We still have on.
It's pretty messed up, But I come from I'm a Hispanic family, and we're split down the middle on the way we view some of this stuff. Now
I understand that your family has been in variations of this country.
Oh yeah.
Tell us about that.
Yeah. So my mother is we're descended from the Cavazos family that came. They were part of the original Spanish settlers that came in the 1750s. From Spain to settle right here along the Rio Grande.
So your family came from Spain?
On my mother's side.
On your mother's side. Let's deal with that. Spain from your mother's side.
That's right. And they got a Spanish land grant called the San Juan de Caracitos land grant in South Texas.
So originally your family, you didn't come across the Rio Grande?
No, sir. We have been settled in that land grant in South Texas
since 1750.
Since the 1750s, family's been
So
there,
your family has been in this country before it was this country.
That is correct. That is correct. It was, it started off as Spanish, and then, of course.
That's remarkable.
Yeah, and recording. Yeah, it's like one of my. I was telling you a little earlier about my mom. My mom is always she kind of gets offended when people say, "Well, you're Mexican," and she's like, "I'm not Mexican. I'm a Tejano. I'm Texan." My family has been in this area since the 1700s. I mean, the border. We didn't cross the border, like you said. The border crossed us. And so the family's been in South Texas for 300 years, and. It's a rich history. It's a rich history when you've gone back and do it. As a matter of fact, it's funny. My wife gave me one of those DNA tests.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't sent it in yet.
You scared?
I'm kind of nervous about sending it in. And my sister's already done it, so I kind of know, a little bit. Assuming she's really my sister.
You never can tell.
Yeah, never can tell. Yeah. But yeah. So the family's been here a long time, and I'm a proud Tejano. I'm a proud Tejano. I know sometimes people look at me and they say I look Italian or something else because I'm fair skinned, but in the Hispanic community, people like me we're called güeros. We're güeros.
What does that mean?
Just light skinned. And just like Mexico, just like the United States, it's a melting pot. I mean, you got Vicente Fox is the ex-president of Mexico. Well, he was Irish. He's descended from Irish immigrants that went to Mexico. So
But we're all the same.
Yeah, we're all the. Hey, you know what? My
same.
blood bleeds just as red as yours. If we get cut, we're all the same.
We're all the same, but some of us have different outcomes of being the same.
Sure.
But
sure.
but we all ultimately all
we're all the same, and then each individual is a product of
their environment.
And
now,
the way they're brought up.
the environment that you're running in is you're running against the incumbent.
I am.
Roy Brooks, right?
Roy Brooks, yes, sir.
He's been there a long time.
He's been there actually this will be 20 years when he ends this next term in 2 years.
Now, this area, for lack of a better word, is considered a black district, right?
Yeah, black and Hispanic primarily, right.
And it's a Democratic district.
It is Democratic.
And like as I said before, the my voice, my opinion is going to be my voice, my opinion is going to be on the zoning and the districting as we have right now.
Correct.
How can you win in a district that's primarily Democrat?
Well, it's all about messaging, I think. I know I'm running on a Republican ticket, but there's a lot of things me and Republicans don't agree on.
Well, you're going to lose some Republicans now.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I also think there's in the Hispanic and the black communities, I think there's a lot of common ground.
Such as what?
I think that we have strong family values. I think we believe in the strong sanctity of marriage, and I believe we all believe in the sanctity of protecting our children. So those are things that we get along. We should be working towards. It's like I said. When we should be focusing on the things that we agree on, rather than on the things we disagree on. I got friends at work that are, Democrats, let's say, and they're very liberal in a lot of ways, and so, but we're still friends. We get along great. We avoid the things that would upset each other, and
because that's your friend. Right?
Yeah, and we focus on the things that we like and have in common. Well, we should be practicing that everywhere we go. I mean, and especially in politics if we want to get stuff done. Because it's about the people.
Now, what would you do different from Commissioner Brooks?
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. Roy Brooks he's a good guy. I'm not going to, when I ran last time against him, I never talked bad about him. He's done a good job, and, when I talked to the mayor over in Crowley, he couldn't say anything negative about Roy. I mean, very, very little things. He's done a good job. The question is how long when do you change? When you find a new path, when do we bring in new blood to help, change the status quo, and that's kind of where I'm coming from, I guess. I've been working for the last 14 years in the mortgage business, and I work as an accountant, and in my industry, it's all about streamlining processes, efficiency, saving money wherever we can. And I think that in our county, we need to be focusing on that and not taking for granted, taxes that we collect from our constituents, and then maybe using that for something that may not necessarily be for their benefit. So those are the things that I kind of want to focus on. I want to lower our budget. Our budget, I haven't actually looked at it, but when I ran a couple years ago, it was over $500 million. That's a lot of money. Are we using it wisely? Are the programs that we have in our county doing what they need to be doing? I think that especially in Precinct 1, where we have a lot of a high level Black and Hispanic residents, I think we need some policies that can help address some of the issues that our communities are having right now. And so are those programs that are in place actually producing results? So those are the things that I kind of want to go in and see what we can do. Now, I don't have all the answers, Ed, and it's like I said last time, I don't have the answers, but what I would do and what I did last time is I went into the community and I was talking to the people. And they would ask me, well, what are you going to do? And I said, well, we need to figure that out together, because I need your input. What can we do to help strengthen our communities here so that we can bring prosperity for everyone?
Now, you're blatantly honest.
I'm not a politician, I'm telling you.
So you said I don't have the answers.
I don't.
Now, have you contacted the county commissioner? Have you been in contact with them just to talk to them about the issues?
Well, I've met him a few times, but no, I haven't actually gone and had an interview to speak with him. I've met with some of the other commissioners, Gary Fickus and J.D. Johnson and Andy Wynn, who recently lost in Precinct 2 this last election. And so they've kind of, given me some pointers and stuff like that and talked a little bit. But their districts are doing so well, financially. And the real, it's kind of like Precinct 1 is, it's kind of like that, the lost stepchild over there, they just kind of, they know you're there, but how's the best way to say it? When I talk to my daughter, and my daughter's a special needs, so I spend a lot of time tutoring her just so she can keep up with her class. And so she fails a test, and she was scared to tell me because she's, she knew I would be kind of, I wouldn't be as proud of her, So once I find out, because I check her grades, she comes in and I tell her, hey, you can't hide this, because if you ignore it, it never gets better. As a matter of fact, it'll get worse. So we have a lot of problems in Precinct 1. We got the Stop 6 and that neighborhood in there. It's a tough neighborhood. We got the pyrotechnics over there with the Hispanic community, and that's a tough neighborhood. So, to just ignore it, when I decided to run 2 years ago, the Republican Party here had said, you better watch out going into those neighborhoods.
Wait a minute, they said that?
Yeah, they said, because it's dangerous. They were not like...
No, I'm just, I understand.
Yeah, like going block walking or whatever,
honest.
yeah.
Being honest with you, it's like certain things you don't do. But, it's just so, when the Republican Party says something like that,
well, it
has a different...
Well, it wasn't like the state. It was just the local guys that are there.
Because it's like... Because Republicans
and
have a bad...
A bad rap like
they
that.
do.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like... That's not cool. You can't just forget about these people. They need representation. And so, Jesse is a good friend of mine, and he reached out to me, and he took me into the neighborhood. Now, I don't think I could have gone in without some type of a person to kind of guide me through it.
Yeah, he kind of big.
Yeah, he did.
So
But then we went out there and I shook hands and I talked to people, and a lot of people. I'm going to be honest with you, and I was in that Stop 6 area, and I remember there was this young, tall, black guy, handsome guy, looked like he was a basketball player. And he kept staring at me. He kept staring around talking to these people. He keeps staring at me. I said, "So what's up, man?" He goes, "I'm just stunned that you're here." I said, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Well, nobody ever comes over."
He's trying to figure out whether or not you're real or not.
Well, I guess so.
And that's
Yeah.
generally speaking.
But he was surprised.
Now, not to say anything derogatory, or you say that
Sure.
you were wrong or anything like that.
No.
But that's just a thing that people do. It's like, wait a minute, you're not from around here.
Yeah.
Nobody comes in here.
Right.
Period. We live in. That's the reason why they call it the ghetto.
Yeah.
Because once you're born there, you can't get out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So therefore, nobody goes there to the ghetto because there's no need to go.
Yeah.
Because you don't belong. So therefore, by you being there, it's like, well, wait a minute, why are you even here?
Why are you even here? Yeah. And he was just surprised.
So that's the first look you got was, why are you here?
Yeah.
And then if you say you're trying to help, it's like, why?
Yeah.
Nobody helps us. Why are you doing it? Yeah. And then it's after once you start helping, it's like, are you real about this?
Yeah.
And then the third thing is, okay, you real, but will you come back?
Yeah. And that's why I'm here. And I was out picking up trash, I don't know, not this Christmas, I guess the last Christmas, with Gina Bivens, as a matter of fact, commissioner for Place 5 in Fort Worth. And we were out there and we did a little thing over at Rosedale Park. And we did some beautification and just kind of clean up the area. So I kind of stayed in, but I'll be honest with you, the last time I ran, I got burned out. That's just crazy. This politics game is, it's tough.
But that's the problem with politics. We need people like yourself who come in with good intentions. That, if you win, you win. If you don't, you don't. I just want to help.
Yeah.
I just want to help.
Well, and I make it.
And of course, you want to win.
I want to win. You put in that much work and that much effort, and it's emotionally draining. It's mentally draining. It's spiritually draining because you're trying to do something that's outside of your normal realm. I go to work every day. I got little kids at home. They're a little older now. Hopefully, it's going to be a little bit easier to run this campaign. But I go to work. I go to work every day, and I was so scared to tell my boss that I was running for office.
Why?
I didn't know if he would fire me or not. And then it's like, is he a Republican or a Democrat? And I was like, am I going to even upset him?
Well, that's...
But you know what? I came out. I told them that I was doing it, and they were very understanding. And as long as it didn't affect my work, and I got my job done, they were okay with it. And then even towards the end there, they even let me work where I would start the day at 4 o'clock in the morning and work till noon, so I could go work the polls the last 2 or 3 weeks before the general election. So they were really, really, really helpful. But on the election night, when I was there with my boss, as a matter of fact, and we were watching the results, and he saw that I had lost. He looks over to me and he says, "Roy, I got you for another 4 years, right?" And I was like, "You got me for another 4 years."
You're not going to be doing it.
That's right. So I said, "Yeah, until I run again, but you got me for at least 4 more years."
So you're going to have yard signs and all this stuff?
Yeah, and I have a lot already, so because I have them left over from the last campaign, so I can use those again. And then the idea is to start a little earlier, get my message out, get out with the people. I think I already have a little bit of name recognition now. So the idea is just messaging. It's a change to try to lower our taxes. If we, the commissioner's court, they know if the taxes are going to go up on everybody. And taxes, a lot of people say, well, I rent. I'm a renter. So property taxes, I don't pay property taxes, they don't affect me. But it really does, because if the property taxes go up on that apartment complex, then the next time you renew your lease, your rent's gonna go up, because they gotta pay the higher taxes.
Right.
It all filters in.
Right.
Yeah, because the business doesn't pay the higher tax. It's you and me. We pay the higher tax, and then the homeowners. So if you're, if it all filters down, that's just kind of the way it works. So we're best to help, because right now you got all these guys over in Austin, and their big thing is property tax reform.
Right.
The property taxes aren't collected up in Austin. They're collected right here, local, at the county.
Locally.
So we need to be talking to the commissioners court. We need to be looking at the school boards. We need to look at the hospital district, because they're the ones that are taxing us.
Those are things that all politics is local. As former Speaker of the House, Tip O'Neill, once said, meaning simply put, when you can make it apply to what affects your backyard, literally your backyard, then you got a winner here. So property taxes appears to be there's a buzzword. Everyone wants lower taxes.
That's right.
But nobody actually lowers taxes.
No. No. And a lot of it has to do, that's why the budget has grown so much. I mean, it used to be 10 years ago, it was half of that. So it's doubled in less than 10 years to over more than $500 million.
Okay. Well,
and it's because of the people that have been coming in, they're collecting more. So they're spending more. Well, why not give more back to us? Why can't we have some more back?
okay, we're about to go off the air right now. And when we go off the air, we will go ahead and play your drops as we have already we already recorded your drops.
Yeah, I recorded one of them.
Yeah, so we'll be able to play that again. And let's go ahead and go off of YouTube right quick, and we will continue to transition here on Facebook Live. As I can see right now, the feed is on Facebook Live. You just can't see the feed right here in the studio itself. So we're off on YouTube. We will catch you guys back next week, this Saturday. Erica Estes will be here, and also we will have former Deputy Mayor Pro Tem Eric Wilson will be here on the Commiss Radio Show. All right.